know what I can tell you about the power within. Me, I'm just a teacher. But I can do something that you'd expect a teacher to do. I can try and get you to learn something. I'm going to start my lesson with a question, and my question is very simple. How smart are you? How smart are you? Now, some of you are sitting there with your college shirts. You just finished your AP Chem and your AP Calc exam. You're not worried about midterms, finals. You know how smart you are. You got this question. And isn't that what the teacher wants to hear? But be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with me. Most of you out there don't feel that confident. You don't feel that comfortable. You're not sure where you're going, how you're going to get there, and you don't know if you're smart enough to do it. And that's not what the teacher wants to hear. Charles Schulz, who is the creator of Snoopy, Peanuts cartoonist for almost 50 years until the day he died, and huge personal inspiration in my life, said, "Sometimes I lie awake at night and ask, is life a multiple choice test or is it a true-false test? And then a voice comes to me out of the dark and says, I hate to tell you this, but life, it's a 1,000-word essay." Everybody always kind of gives a nervous laugh because we've all been there. We've been in that situation where that's not the answer we wanted. That's not what we were expecting. And we're a little scared because we don't know, can we do it? And it's not just you, it's everybody. When I proctor SATs, I watch as the students get ready to get that page turned to the next section. Will it be math? Will it be English? Am I flipping that page? Is it going to bring me relief or anxiety? It's always the same look. You're scared. So we have this divide between people who are scared, people who aren't. Well, that's a problem, but this problem is simple. I asked you the wrong question. The question I should have asked you is, how many ways are you smart, and what are you using it for? So if you're asking me, well, what does that mean, how many ways am I smart? If you thought smart was just smart, think again. In 1983, a Harvard education professor developed this idea that challenged this traditional notion of intelligence. It was Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. Now, I'm not looking at this from a science perspective or a psychology perspective. I'm looking at it from how can this help me and how can this help you be better, be stronger. Gardner had this idea of intelligence that kind of conflicted with these traditional definitions. Traditional definitions included things like cognitive ability a person is born with, easily measured by short answer tests. And Gardner said that's not nearly broad enough to accurately describe how intelligent people really are and include all of their abilities. Even current definitions that include things like ability to manipulate the environment or ability to incorporate new knowledge generally refer back to things with an objective criteria. What's wrong with some subjectivity? Gardner looked at intelligence as this whole arena that's inside of you. It's that skill set that you have that helps you tackle life's problems. It's that ability you have to produce a product or have a service that's valued by a culture. It's your ability to seek out and find and utilize new information to create creative solutions to these problems. That's intelligence. In 1983, Gardner originally came up with these 6 different intelligences. Later, when he published his book in the same year, he already had 7. And in 1999, he introduced 9 different intelligences in his Intelligence Reframed book. Now, that's 17 years ago. But I want to just give you a quick view of what those 9 are and see if they ring true to you. First one is verbal linguistic. Now, verbal linguistic isn't just I'm a good speaker. It's being able to find rhythms in speech patterns and words. There's logical mathematical. That's the ability to conceptually and abstractly think problems through, find mathematical and logical patterns. There's musical. That's the ability to utilize and incorporate rhythm and pitch and timbre. You have bodily kinesthetic. That's not only controlling yourself, but manipulating materials. There's visual spatial. Imagine seeing whole concepts as single pictures. There's interpersonal, which is how you identify and properly respond to other people's emotions. And then intrapersonal, which is how you kind of are in touch with yourself and your own thought processes. There's naturalistic, which is finding that pattern in this chaos of nature with plants, animals, and the whole natural world. And then there's existentialist, which is being in touch with this idea of these larger questions. Questions like, why are we here? And, hey, how smart are we? So, these 9 intelligences, how many of them are inside of you? How many did you not even realize were ways you're smart? Gardner said, every person has all 9 of these inside of him or her in varying proportions, giving each of you a unique, distinct, intellectual composition unlike anyone else. These intelligences can work together or they can work separately. And these intelligences together, united, truly define the human species. Okay, now hold on. Defining the human species is a bit too lofty a goal for just a teacher. I want my goal to be meaningful and achievable for me. So one of the goals I have is, can I use my intelligence to help a student become more than just a letter on a report card? Help a student achieve success and provide him ways to be more successful in an area where he didn't ever feel he could be successful. Helping a person explore an idea that they're interested in. Helping a friend find their own inner potential. So you're going, okay, that sounds pretty cool. I want to do those things. How do I do it? Stop and reflect. Take a moment to inventory yourself. What are things you're good at? What are things that you enjoy? What are things that make you happy? Why are those things important to you? Okay, you're good at them because they're related to your learning preferences. They're related to your intelligence. They're your superpowers. You have an enormous set of superpowers. And along with that superpower comes an incredible potential. And if you use all 9 of your intelligences, your potential skyrockets. We all have great potential. But there is no greater burden than great potential. Charles Schulz said so, speaking as Linus. So we have this need to be intelligent. It's scary because we don't know just how smart we are. There's always somebody that's next to me that's smarter. Well, I have the potential, and that's scary too. There's a business website called businessballs.com, and on their webpage they have an article on Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences. It's in their human resource section. Because this isn't just about how smart you are in a traditional environment. This is about your life. And, okay, I'm going to paraphrase that because that's what teachers do. It says, many happy, successful, fulfilled people were failures in school. Doctors, lawyers, artists, writers, singers, musicians, painters. They were not considered successful in school because they were judged by a very narrow, traditional, conventional definition. They're happy, successful, productive, and weren't recognized for how special they truly were. It goes on to say, people with generally the least conventional set of skills has the most enormous power. But the sad part is, because it's unconventional and untraditional, it's usually also undervalued and underdeveloped. You have to embrace all of your intelligences. Find a way to use them all to make yourself successful. So you're in an English class. You have to read a long Shakespearean sonnet. Use your musical intelligence to help you find the rhythm as you go through the words. Do a little head and shoulder dance as you work your way through an acid-base buffer system problem. Find that clever artistic ability as you write your little calculus and trig symbols. Find the elegance in a projectile motion solution. Write notes in bright, bold colors that make you happy. Use that bright blue. Use that pink. Xerox it in black and white if the teacher doesn't want color. Read words out loud, and as you hear them, let them come back to you and fill your head. Take whole concepts and don't outline the notes. Draw stylized, bright, bold pictures. You're reading a long novel. Activate that kinesthetic part of your brain by scrunching that stress ball and making all of you active. Make your non-traditional strengths help you reinforce your traditional intelligence. You have the potential. We all have that potential. I'm not just a teacher. I'm made up of a unique intellectual composition of at least 9 different smarts. I have a set of superpowers that include I'm a cat lover, a wannabe chef, a sci-fi geek. I'm a sister. I'm a book lover. I love word puzzles. I love everything and anything, Peanuts, Charles Schultz, and Snoopy. I'm a wife, a daughter, and oh yeah, I'm a teacher. You have that same set of skills I have. And you can use it to become more powerful, have stronger potential, and be better than you are. And above all, be confident in how smart you really are and how many ways you're smart. So I'm going to close my talk because I need to finish my lesson. And I'm going to sum it up and say, okay, I have to ask you a final question, oral quiz, and I have to give you your assignment. So my question to you is, how many ways are you smart? At least 9. And what are you going to do with it? Well, I have one final quote from Charles Schultz. And he says, in the book of life, the answers aren't in the back. Well, he had potential, and I have potential, and you have potential. Take your strengths. Take all of them. Take your whole set of superpowers. Take everything you know and make it stronger. Use every conventional, traditional method. Use every traditional, non-conventional method. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Seek out your answers and write your own very powerful book. I know you can do it. I believe you can do it because I know how smart you really are. Thank you.